Hello everyone, my name is AJ. This is episode 3 of the iGames show. It's a review on Tom Clancy The Beta. We're going to start with the campaign here. I really enjoyed it. I thought Ubisoft definitely went a different route. It reminded me kind of Fallout, to the sense where you're kind of building up your own base, and you kind of customize it to how you want it. There's 3 divisions of your base. There's medical, technical, and security. So what's really cool is that those 3 divisions actually tie into your talent tree. So we went with the medical talent tree because we want to heal other people, and we did our first mission in the medical part of our base, and we were able to unlock a new spell. So I think that's pretty cool because you don't see a lot of games where you have to actually play the campaign to kind of grow and transition your character. The missions were really interesting. The first mission we were going through Madison Square Garden, so I've never done that before, and I doubt you have too. But we had to rescue a doctor, and what was really cool about it was the computers were actually it felt like actually humans. So it was almost I was almost looking at the screen, and it felt like that computer was actually standing right in front of me. The reaction, the emotion they were putting in the game. Your character that you play actually asked the doctor that you saved, what are you doing here? And she actually said, trying to save the people, like exactly like that. Like it was almost like they were a real human being. And I haven't really seen any of that kind of interaction when it came to computers in an actual video game, so I thought that was really good. All in all, I did like the campaign. There wasn't a great amount of content we could go off of. I thought it was good they kept it a little secret. You don't want to ruin the game, and then when the game comes out, you have to start all over. I was mainly focused on, hopefully Ubisoft was letting us allowed to go online and play in the Dark Zone. And as you guys know, the Dark Zone is obviously the PvP area. So my first thoughts on it were, it's going to be tough. I mean, I was in there for 30 minutes alone, and I was just getting destroyed. I mean, there's just people left and right, and I couldn't extract any loot. And so I finally got to meet up with about 4 or 5 group of guys, and we were able to obviously defend ourselves and extract some really good gear, because any gear you pick up in the Dark Zone is contaminated with the disease. So that means you have to find an extracting point, and you have to defend that area for about 2 minutes, and then you give it to the helicopter to take and clean away, and you get it once you leave the Dark Zone. So in that point, I think that's really cool. But the down part is, when you do extract, you're targeted on the map in the Dark Zone, so everyone in the Dark Zone can actually see that you're extracting, so they're obviously going to come to you because you obviously have good gear. Makes sense. So on top of that, when you're defending, you're obviously killing other people, and if you shoot first, you get this thing on your head called a bounty. And a bounty is the skull mark on top of your head, and it counts down, and the number varies depending on how much you contributed to killing an enemy. So, for instance, if I just killed a random person, I'd probably have a 60-second bounty, which means that I'm targeted in the Dark Zone, and if anyone kills me, they get bonus points, which helps level them in the Dark Zone. If you survive it, you yourself get bonus points, but it's hard because you're obviously targeted. So I was a little skeptical about how that was going to be, but if you're in a group with a group of friends and you're doing your thing, I think it adds a really good competitive edge to the game, which I think needs to be brought back in RPGs. I'm going to jump into the content. I think what's really cool is that they really focus on the appearance in this game. I mean, the graphics are absolutely beautiful. I've never seen. There was times when the sunlight was blinding us when we were trying to kill some enemies, and it literally looks like you're walking down New York City. And the cool part is there's every street in New York, so if you're living in New York, it's going to be pretty cool. The gun rarity varies from uncommon, which is gray, to common, which is green, rare is blue, pink is epic, and then orange is legendary. We were only allowed to scuffle up some common weapons, which was great. I'm glad they didn't really kind of release that. If you did find any, congratulations. They obviously have gear and stuff like that. So the cool thing about it is, I personally get bored of just when I'm developing my character, adding new gear, changing my appearance. I think the really cool part is the talent tree. So, like I said earlier, the campaign helps you build those trees, and medical is, like we said, a healing tree. So if you like healing, go with that. We did. We really enjoyed it. And then the tech is more like a DPS, so bombs and whatnot. And security is more of a tank, shields, stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be strategic when it comes to battling, and you and your friends out there. You're definitely going to have different kinds of classes out there defending, kind of like you have in Destiny. So other than that, I think it's pretty cool how the loot systems, obviously open loot. You have your own personal loot is what I'm trying to say. So it's not like if you and your buddies are killing someone and they drop a green, it's first come first serves. No, that green that you see is only for you. So the environment in this game I thought was also really interesting. It was the first time I was actually wandering around, because I took about half an hour to an hour to just explore, and I started just shooting up random things. And what was really, really cool is that I could actually shoot car windows, laptops, phones, stone wall, and you would actually see damage being done to them. So I think that's going to be a huge bonus to this game, along with the content and the graphics and all that. But all in all, I would probably say if you're not used to an RPG or third-person shooter, it's going to be pretty hard to adjust, especially if you're on PC or console. There's a lot going on. There's especially since you're probably never going to be in a one-on-one match. It's probably going to be more 4-on-4, 5-on-5, especially in PvP. And then even when you're in campaign, it's usually you and one other computer and like five other enemies. And on top of that, more waves come after that. So I think it's going to be a pretty hard game to get a grasp of. But after a while, it's going to get really interesting. I think Ubisoft has a lot of future with this game. Really looking forward to it. Release date's on March 8th. If you haven't pre-ordered it, I highly suggest it. All in all, I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching our show, and follow our social media accounts, which are in the description, and I hope you enjoyed it.